Okay, everybody, welcome to Power Hour. This week we're going to be previewing the final Open Men's Bodybuilding Show of 2024, the Bigman Weekend, happening Sunday in Alicante, Spain. Joining me, my brother from another mother all the way across the pond, Giles Tiger Thomas. Giles, I'm surprised you're not going to this one.
Yeah, well, actually, Mino asked me about 6-7 weeks ago, and then I didn't hear anything else. So obviously the show's coming up this weekend, so I'm assuming he doesn't want me there. But because I did it in 2021 for him, and I did obviously the M Pro back in June. I've done live stream commentary for many times for Emilio. Yeah. But to be honest, I'm not actually that bothered because it's just hit me today from all the crazy months I've had. 3 tours, 2 live stream trips, Romania, Prague. It's just all hit me today, so I'm just feeling a little bit like I've been hit by a bit of a truck at the moment.
Hopefully a little bit of green tea will fix you up proper. So I want to start off with the favorite, my favorite, yours, everybody's probably favorite to win this, Akim Williams. So we were wondering, why didn't Akim do Prague? He was already over in Europe for the Romania show, right?
Yeah, he went home. I spoke to him I messaged him because I sent him a couple of pictures from Romania. And he said, "Oh, I'm just on the plane at the moment going home." He said, "I'll check when I get home." So he obviously didn't hang around in Europe. He went back the next day. So, yeah, I mean, what is that? It was 3 weeks or whatever, 4 weeks from Romania to here? Is it? I can't remember. Is it 3 weeks?
Yeah, but now it makes perfect sense to me because he wasn't going to beat Martin Fitzwater. He might have beaten Bumstead, but maybe not in Clarita. But this is a show he can win. And if he's doing this for qualification for 2025 Mr. Olympia, this is perfect strategy. I mean, It's not going to be an easy win by any means, but he is a heavy favorite. He's top 10. He was just 10th place at the Olympia, 6 weeks ago. There's no other top 10 Olympia guys here, so it's not going to be there are some other very good names in the show, but Akim is definitely my favorite for this.
Yeah, I'd say he's the favorite. I mean, look, really good Romania. I wouldn't say he pushed Rafael Brandao because obviously I was there, but yeah, I don't think he really pushed him, but his condition was good. He looked great at the finals. And I suppose in this lineup, really, if you look at the names in terms of where they've placed and, what they've done in the previous and how they've looked in these recent shows, because most of these competitors we've seen in the last few weeks, I would say, yeah, arguably he is the favorite to win this.
Yeah. I mean, I'll go to a recent, let's see how recent this is. Yeah. 3 days ago, he posted, let's show you this. He definitely is still in shape. It's not like why wouldn't he be? It's been a long year for him, but
yeah.
So
from Olympia, my God, weeks ago.
I mean, that means he's been prepping all summer. So there he is. This is 3 days ago.
Looks good.
Looks good. Has all the strong points. I mean, he's a proven entity. We've seen this guy many times.
Yeah.
Akim, that's just putting back shots. That's my favorite shot of his, the front double bicep.
Yeah.
He's got all that crazy tape across his shoulders.
It's been a good year for him in terms of coming back after the accident. I mean, he's really. It's funny. I was chatting to him at breakfast in Romania the week, and he was saying, he said right before the accident, he said he was training was going so well, and he said he was shoulder pressing 200-pound dumbbells.
Wow, shoulder pressing 200-pound dumbbells.
Yeah, shoulder pressing them. He said, I was shoulder pressing. He says the training was going really well.
What the hell? Shoulder press.
Shit.
That's ridiculous. Okay. Well, I'm going to take his word for it.
I think that's my video.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, I sent it to him on his phone. I WhatsApped it to him.
Cool. All right. Now, the next guy I want to talk about, I never heard of before the Prague show. You were there to see Germany's Matthias Hollweck with a very respectable 4th place there.
Yeah.
What impressed you the most about this guy?
Well, I thought he was. I thought if you watch the Romania live stream, you'll see, like I'm saying, he deserved a bit more love from the judges because I think he was like 8th or 9th there, and he didn't look that much different in Prague. But in Prague, the judges really, Steve Weinberger really pulled him out a lot. He moved him around a lot. He got a lot of attention. And don't forget, this guy was, I think he was 2nd or 3rd to Urs Kalasinski in the Classic in Prague the year before. So he's 1 year out of the Classic into the Open. And he's obviously got bigger, but he hasn't lost any detail. He hasn't lost any sort of, striations. His balance is still good. He basically looks like what he is. He looks like a Classic guy that's put a few pounds on, that's managed to retain all the, and obviously look at the posing there. He still poses like a Classic guy.
Yeah.
So he looks like a guy that's was classic and is just freshly into the open. But I was chatting to him backstage, and I mean that was one happy guy. I mean, he was in that first call out, and he was being put next to Bumstead and next to bloody Martin, and he was like, I mean, that's the happiest I've ever seen anyone, to be honest. He was buzzing backstage, like he said. He was just literally jumping up and down backstage when me and AJ went to talk to him.
Yeah, there seems to be a little push from a lot of the classic bodybuilding fans they want to see the classic guys just put on a little bit more size and dominate open bodybuilding. There's a real movement out there that seems to want that to happen. So he could be on the forefront since Bumstead's not on.
Well, I think I've got a feeling Wesley or maybe even Urs might try an open show next year. I spoke to Urs on the weekend. He was on the stand with us in Prague with Ronnie, and I was chatting to him, and he came at the after party. He came over and started chatting to him. I was chatting for about 20, 30 minutes. Oh, wow. And he was kind of hinting at it. And also Wesley posted something and he's hinting at it because we saw Wesley 2 weeks before do that guest posing in Germany. And I'm guessing he wouldn't have been able to make classic weight there. And he looked absolutely phenomenal. He looked huge. And then when he made it down to classic by the time the Olympia, he got the 8th place. It really sucked him right down. He kind of lost all that impressiveness. So I'm guessing, now with guys like Bumstead wanting to bring just to compete, just to show that what their physique looks its best at. Because Bumstead was I think he weighed 248 in Prague. And he has to be 242 to be classic. So that was his way of saying, right, okay, then that's the best physique I've got. Not as a classic, but as an open. Yeah. And I think Wesley will be the same as well. I think we'll see Wesley do an open show as well because we've seen many 212s do it, and then we saw 212 guys like Derek Lunsford, Sean Clarida, Hadi, Bonac, all make that transition and successfully. Angel Calderon is still doing open shows. He did the New York Pro back in May, getting 8th place in the open, and then and obviously still competing in the 212 as well.
Well, I would love to see Wesley do like Romania or Prague or something next year, and I bet he will. I bet he will do one of those shows.
Yeah, he's a big. And the thing is, when you stand next to Wesley, I do the tour with me. He's absolutely huge. He's a really big guy. When you think about it, you stand next to him and you think, my God, this guy's classic. What are the open guys like? And then you go on tour with someone like Andrew Jacked, and then it's like, yes, okay, that's an open guy. You know what I mean? Because there is levels to this sport, and these classic guys are huge. I mean, I spoke to Urs and I said, Urs, don't you go to didn't I see that you go to something like 270 or something or 280 in the off season? He said, yeah, but Giles, he says, I'm like a water buffalo at that weight. He said, but my glutes are still shredded.
There's people like that out there. I don't know how they do it.
I asked him if he did any specific training for his glutes, because he's got such crazy glutes. And he says, no, nothing. He said, I don't do any specific training. He said, it's just basic leg training. He said, and that's how they look.
Well, you remember a guy named Tommy Thorvaldsen from Finland, I think it was?
Yeah. From Norway, yeah. He's got
Norway. Also. Yeah, you're right.
He was in Sweden a few weeks ago when I was doing the live stream.
But I remember him guest posing back in the day, and he'd be a bloated mess, but he still had striations in his glutes.
Yeah, crazy, isn't it? Crazy. Same with Lunsford now. I mean, Lunsford posted that update, and he's obviously a lot heavier, and he's been sort of going crazy with the food, but his glutes are still got loads of lines in them.
All right, Brazilians, wake up, Brazilians. We're going to talk about your boy here, Horse MD, Marcelo DAngelo's 5th place in Prague. Smart of him to stay over there and keep going. Again, I don't see him winning this, but definitely a first call out guy. Definitely has another shot at top 5 or better.
Yeah, he looked good. I mean, he looked better in Prague than he did in Romania. A lot better, actually. But I still think he looked better last year in Romania. I still think he looked fuller and harder and bigger and just better. If you go look at the pictures, go and compare them. But he's still very, very good. I really want to see him bring that back up, because the weird thing is he's got, like I said, he's got a really good rear lat spread, but he's got a terrible rear double bicep. So he really needs, and he hasn't got the smallest waist, so he really needs to bring those body parts up. But I mean, his legs are incredible, his biceps are incredible. He's definitely one I want to see. He's going to be one to watch in the next couple of years. But I really want to see some improvements, because this year I just didn't see any.
Yeah, if I was his coach, I would probably have him skip a leg day here and there, personally.
Yeah, possibly.
They're so far ahead of his upper body. He's got to anybody with lesser legs. We wouldn't be talking about the upper body, but we'd still be talking about the back thickness. But yeah, it's just a matter of balance and proportion, and that's what bodybuilding's all about. So good luck, Marcelo, and hopefully he takes solid off season after this and works on some back thickness. Comes back.
Yes.
All right. Let's move on to another great guy. This is a youngster, Emir Omeragic. Emir skipped the show in Prague as well, but I had a feeling he wasn't done for the season. He will be back Sunday in Alicante.
Good.
Look at that.
Good. Well, he was second at the Bigman Weekend when he was 21 years old back in 2021 because Angel Calderon won that one. That was when I was doing the commentary.
Wow.
And I saw him in Prague. I saw him sat in the audience, and as I was walking out the expo a couple of times, I saw him running in. And I was like, "Is he? What? I mean, first of all, why isn't he competing? And if he's here, is he going to be doing Spain?" So obviously he was just there to watch. Maybe he was there with a sponsor or something because obviously this year they had an expo. So I was thinking, is he going to keep competing? Because I thought he looked absolutely phenomenal in Romania. I mean, he was the best peak guy in the entire lineup. Wow. Better than Raphael, better than Akim. I mean, his condition, his fullness, everything was like, pretty much as bang on as you could get it. But he looked really, really good. And in fact, I think he'll push Akim actually in this one.
Wow, that's strong statement there. But
yeah, I do. I thought he did actually. I thought he pushed him in Romania, but the judges thought otherwise.
And he's had he's had a long year. I saw him back in May, didn't he? Yeah, so he's been dieting all damn year, this guy. Yeah. And
he's young, he can take it, but he's young. He's like what, 24, 25?
I don't know if it's an age thing, but some guys seem to be able to handle prepping over and over and over again without losing much, if anything. And other guys,
Ron, when you were 25, you could do it, mate. When I was, when I was 28, 29, I was doing shows back to back, and it didn't even faze me.
All right, it's time for the most head-scratching guy from the Prague show, Italy's Andrea Presti. So you were there, and he got third, or I think it was fourth call out, but he ended up in 8th place. And I didn't think he was off his best by much at all. You were there, and you've seen him at his best, so you tell me.
This was the fullest I've ever seen him. But maybe I don't see why the judges didn't. I mean, I spoke to Steve Weinberg. I was at the hotel afterwards with Ronnie, and he kind of came over and said hi with Minjos Farah. And I said, Steve, can I ask you a question, please? And he said, yeah, ask anything. And I said, what happened to Andrea Presti? And he said something weird. I didn't really understand what he said. He says, oh, no, he moved up towards the end. And I was thinking, well, that's a weird answer. But he did. I mean, I don't, 8th place. I mean, he was on about, apparently I was hearing afterwards that he was on about retiring because he said, well, if the head judge doesn't like me, he said, what's the point? How am I going to ever do well at the Olympia if that's the case? And I kind of see his point, but to me, he looked as good as he always does. And he's always like top 2 or top 3. So I just really, really hope he gets some love here because the 8th place and the 4th call out was not right. I mean, I don't know whether, I just don't know what happened. It was very baffling. I mean, if you watch the live stream, you could hear my commentary saying, I just have no explanation for this. It was completely baffling.
Yeah, based on that call out, he wasn't in the top 15.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, that's madness. I mean, he's not, he wasn't injured. He wasn't off really. He was crazy full. Yeah. But I didn't really see anything that different from what he brings when he gets, first, seconds or thirds at top, these top shows. So that to me was just, I don't know, the whole thing was very confusing for me.
Fair enough. Now from the UK, we have Mark Hector, and Mark's been out of commission competing for a while. Is this the first time he's competed in a year or 2 or 3?
2 years. Yeah, 2 years. I think he did Italy back in 22 against Jamie the Giant. And he's been out. He's had real bad shoulder problems. He's had shoulder surgery. And I think he's still been training, but I think he's been apparently really struggles to hit the poses because his shoulder's that bad.
Yeah.
So you can see he's impinging his right shoulder. So he's been dieting because he did a cut diet a couple of months ago. And I said to him, I messaged him and I said, well, why don't you compete, mate? I said, if you're in shape. And he said, oh, it's not that. He said, I just can't get into the poses. And I was like, oh, well, that is a problem if you can't hit the bloody poses. So, but he's competing. And obviously his girlfriend just won the bikini in Prague.
Yeah.
Kerry Sexton. Oh. So, and obviously they've obviously been prepping together. And he must have just thought, oh, well, sod it. I'm in shape. I may as well do a show.
Yeah, I think I saw on his Instagram, he is going to have the surgery. He postponed it just to do this show. and then he's going to get done. But
yeah. Well, I think he's had like 1 or 2 surgeries on it already. So I don't know what happened where it wasn't successful, and he's got to have it done again. I mean, was it a botched up operation, or
yeah. I mean, sometimes I can say, because I had a shoulder surgery in 2011, and that was just a temporary measure.
Right.
I knew I would need a full replacement. I don't know if he's at that point yet, but I could see when he was hitting that front lat spread. What it'll show in a second. That's exactly what happens when your shoulder is so messed up. You'll be able to rotate one shoulder all the way forward as normal, and you can see the one on the left in a second.
Yeah.
It doesn't go forward like it's supposed to. It's going to be after this pose. So most of the you can't tell. Is this the lat spread? You'll see it right here. Look at that shoulder on the left. See how it doesn't go all the way? Yeah. So I feel for him.
I thought I probably don't want to hear this, but I thought Mark was going to be a lot further along by now. When I saw him turn pro a few years ago, I thought, okay, this guy is going to be. I thought he was going to be like chasing Samson and Nathan and all guys like that. I thought he was going to be at that level, and maybe it is because of the shoulder that's kind of impeded his progress. But I hope he at least looks good and gets a good placing here, and because he obviously doesn't want to be not competing for too long. I mean, it's been 2 years now.
Right.
So maybe he's just thinking, shit, I really need to get my ass back up there. And I understand that.
Yeah. So let's stay in the UK for this next gentleman. This is Lewis Breed. It's the best footage I could find. It was a YouTube short, but he's had a long year, and he's been very consistent this year as well.
Yeah.
And I applaud that, because not many. It's the European guys who seem to be the soldiers who do show after show, like all year long.
Yeah.
The Americans seem terrified of that, and just that prospect. Go Lewis.
I was surprised to see that he was competing, because he's already done quite a few shows. He's done Tampa, Texas, the UK one.
Yeah.
But he obviously just thought, oh well, try and get maybe he thought he could get a win here and get an early qualification for next year. Like, I don't see why not. I mean he's been getting good placings. I mean, he's had some good top 5 placings in American shows, and he's really a front runner now. I mean, in any show now, you can't discount him, and he's always in condition.
Yeah.
He's had some. I mean, last year was successful. This year was a success. He went abroad. He wasn't afraid to compete. I mean, what did he get? He got like 3rd, 4th, or 5th in some of these big shows like Texas and Tampa, and he's had some good placings. And that, for a European guy to compete outside of Europe and really, really have the balls to do that, that takes a lot of doing. So hats off to him. So. It'd be interesting. I mean, to be honest, when I saw the final lineup for this show, I was like, shit, this is actually shaped up to be a very, very, very good lineup.
Yeah.
I mean, there's names that jumped into this one, like Mark, Hector, and Lewis, and other names that I just thought, and Presti, and that I thought, shit, this is going to be a real battle to make top 6, this one.
Speaking of top 6, Christian Walski was 6th place in Prague. He's had some really nice showings this year. He's up and coming. From Poland. I saw him back at New York Pro. So again, a long year for this guy, and still managing to keep it all together, not losing the muscle pop, not losing the condition. I think he just needs a little bit more size, and he's going to be moving up the ranks.
Yeah, it's the last couple of shows haven't been his best showings, but I mean, he's made top 6 in all of them. So if he can make top 6 here, that's going to be good for him. But I've always rated Christian. I like his symmetry. I like his shape. And let's see if he brings better conditioning than the last couple of shows he's done, because he was okay, but he wasn't his absolute best. In fact, I made a comment, and he was saying, let's focus more on the New York Pro, because that's where I want to be my absolute best next year. And I was thinking, okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, that almost tells me he's not expecting to be at his best, but
yeah,
I applaud him again for. You don't see too many Americans going over to Europe, especially multiple times a year, to compete.
Yeah,
yeah, they don't do it. And to finish off the guys who were in Prague, right behind him in 7th place was Czech Republic's Jan Turek.
Yeah,
I think he's a big guy. He's a taller guy, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a taller guy. Yeah, he was at the after party last weekend up at the owner's house I was there with Ronnie. I like Jan Turek. He was the highest place he's had is 2nd in Prague in 22. And he's always he's like a kind of like top end second call out guy. But I haven't seen many improvements from him in the last year or so, which I expected, because obviously he's got a big frame, but he really needs a little bit more size to fill it out, really, because he's got nice balance, nice condition. but he definitely needs a little bit more thickness overall, I think.
Yeah, I mean, assuming you're 6 foot, he's a couple inches taller than you. You think?
No.
Oh no, okay. I was gonna try to give him an excuse if he was like 6'3" or something, but he's not that tall.
No, he's not at all. Not at all.
Yeah, for you wrestling fans out there, he kind of looks like Triple H. Yeah, actually, they could be brothers.
Yeah, right, I see that.
Right, John. Let's move on to a couple more guys coming from Spain. We have. Make sure I got the right guy. Yeah, this is Pablo Lopez. Spain. Very good.
Yeah, he was awesome. He's been top 6 in a few shows. I think he had 8th in a Spain show a couple of years ago, and I was like, shit, this guy's really good. Keep an eye out for him. He did the M-Pro back in June, and I'm sure he was he? I think Sassam was 5th, and I'm sure he was 6th or around that, but he was top 6, and that was a really good lineup. That had like Behruz, William Bonac. Very, very, very good show. But this guy's really, really good. He's aesthetic. He's big. Didn't he do the New York Pro or one of the American shows earlier this year, and he did okay?
I don't remember. He could have been a New York Pro.
Yeah, I'm sure he did New York Pro, and I think he did okay there, actually. And everyone was like, who's this guy? And I'm like, oh, he's been around for a couple of years around in Europe competing.
And I was there. I really should know this.
M-Pro, yeah, that was the M-Pro back in June. That was why I was doing the commentary there.
Great conditioning. Wow.
It's good, didn't he? Yeah, he's really good. Fantastic legs, great delts, very thick, good condition, nice tight midsection. He's really good.
This show had some great lighting, that M-Pro, too, it looks like.
Yeah.
That's always a bonus. Okay. All right. Last guy we're going to talk about today, all the way from Mexico. And I believe, as you said before we start recording, he's a former 212. This is Emmanuel Longoria from Mexico. Yeah.
Hang on. I'm not sure. I'm sure he was a 212, but I might be wrong. Just the name rings a bell, but I've seen him, and he's one of these guys that looks amazing in his progress pictures, and if he pulls it all together, he's going to do really, really well. But I rate this guy as well. He's really good. Nice shape, good legs.
Yeah,
freaky. He's quite young as well. I think he's still quite young.
Beautiful head of hair. I always have to point that stuff out. Yeah, he was competing there against Andrew Jack, and there he is. He made the pilgrimage out to Vegas to go to Flex's gym.
Nice.
Cool. All right. So that is the show. It is happening Sunday, guys. So again, this is the last open men's show of 2024, and all they have is open bodybuilding bikini. So I'll probably do some sort of a wrap up after that. Let's talk about what you did last week. Take a quick look. So this was your fourth tour with Ronnie Coleman?
Third tour. Did March, July, and November.
Wow.
Just now. Yeah. That's brilliant. We did a surprise. Well, we did like a private thing where basically I did a collab video with training with Nathan Diasha.
Oh yeah, look at that.
So that was really, really good. And the people in the gym were like completely in shock when they saw those two training together,
So which gym is this? Is this Nathan's gym or is this a different
Nathan's gym? Yeah, Nathan's gym. Yeah.
Okay, in Liverpool.
Yeah, and we just made Ronnie's flight afterwards.
So tell me that Ronnie can walk, but not very comfortably, correct?
Yeah, he can walk obviously with the crutches and stuff, but he can do stairs, but not many,
Right. So he gets around pretty well, and that scooter he takes with him from home, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it collapses down. It's not the heavy. It's about 20 kilo.
Wow. Okay.
So
look at him go. So it's like you said, this guy. He trains every day is he 60 or 59? He's up there.
60, he just turned 60 in May.
60, yeah. I mean, with everything physically he's been through, it's crazy that he still has such a passion for training. Everywhere you go, he wants to train, right?
Oh, yeah, he loves it. It's the best part of his day. He still trains 6 days a week.
Wow.
Just getting into your prime.
Yeah.
You got to turn on the volume.
Yeah, that was he was saying because Nathan sounds 38. He says, I want to be done by the time I'm 40. And then Ronnie said, well, why 38? You said you're just about hitting your prime.
Yeah.
So he's like, why are you retiring? He said, you're just hitting your prime now. And Nathan's like, no, I'm a couple of years, I'm gonna be done, But Nathan's been saying that for the last 2 or 3 years anyway. So
Yeah.
Because Ronnie was 38. I think he was still Mr. Olympia when he was 38.
36, wasn't it?
I mean, I think he won his last Olympia. I think he was still in his 30s.
Was he? I'm sure he was like 41, 42.
Yeah, he might have been. Yeah, but I'm saying, like we've said before, 40 is not what it used to be in days past. So that was Liverpool. This was Evolution Fitness.
That was Liverpool. That was a good one. That's a new one I've never been to before. So Chris set that one up for us, the Mouthguard. And that was a good one. We were given a lift from London to Liverpool, which, if you know, is like the southeast to the northwest. It was like a 4-hour drive, and the guys from Zone Gym, they went, "Oh, just sort us out with some petrol money, and we'll drive you." It was like a 4 or 5 hour drive, and I slept the whole way. I slept the whole way in the back. Brilliant. So much fun.
Same gym,
yeah.
This is amazing how, it's amazing how many people. I say this every time, but I didn't think in this social media age that people would turn out personally to come and see even someone like Ronnie, who's obviously the biggest name in our sport still, but you still get great turnouts for these tours.
I mean, we've never had a Ronnie one where it hasn't been a great turnout. Even I remember one time I went to one gym and I said to Ronnie before we went, I said, "Look, Ronnie, I said, this is a small gym in a small town." I said, there's not going to be many people here. And he's like, "Oh, okay. And I was completely wrong. The place was absolutely rammed.
Wow. Good for him.
So that was they had like old Ronnie footage they'd edited together and they had it playing on the screen behind. And it's funny because there was like 10-year-old girls there, like daughters of the owners and stuff like that, they were asking like 5-6 questions.
What?
Yeah, like little kids, wanting his autograph and stuff like that. It was just, it's just insane the level of fame this guy has got, So, but it was good. It was only a short one. But to be honest, I shouldn't really say this, but the Ronnie tours are my favorite of all the tours because Ronnie's so easygoing. He's so fun to tour with, and like every minute of this tour was with me, him, and Chris was just like fun. It was he's so easygoing. He's not high maintenance. He doesn't like posh restaurants. He doesn't like posh hotels. As long as you look after him and get him what he needs and stuff when he needs it, and which I'm happy to do because I want to look after him. I want to make sure he's okay and and he's good energy and gets plenty of. Make sure he gets plenty of sleep and and he's like it's a pleasure to look. It's a pleasure to look after him, really, just to host him. Just to sort of, and he appreciates good hospitality, and that's something we can cater for. But he's very, very, very easy to work with, and we're already organising a massive one for April now, and possibly July as well.
Wow! Now you have your next. Is Lee Priest going to be your next tour?
Yeah, Lee Priest in January. It was supposed to be this month, but I said, guys, we need to push it back. I said because the gyms need long enough to promote these properly.
Right.
So in fact, we're supposed to be working on that today, but I've just been so tired. I've just been in and out of bed, so that's probably what I'm going to go back to after this now. I'm just going to take a day off. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes when you after like this many tours, I don't feel guilty about taking the odd day off if I feel like it because I've been go, getting 4 or 5 hours sleep for weeks. Traveling, hotels, airports, non-stop all over the country, all these different domestic flights and organizing, promoting and all these different things. So for me to take a day off, it's I don't feel guilty about that at all because I know very, very soon it's going to be starting all over again.
Well, I mean, at this point where I've been relatively inactive, I wouldn't feel guilty. I'd feel guilty if I took a day off in any foreseeable future once I start really cranking again. So and there he is signing the Wall of Fame. That was a tour. So 4 appearances, four places. Not bad at all.
Yeah. Prague. Obviously I had him at the Prague show. That was good. That was actually really a 2-day thing. But we only wanted to publicize the paid seminar that he was at. But there was about 300 people there as well.
Right on. All right.
Yeah,
cool.
Good. It was really good. Everyone was happy. It went well. The seminar and Ronnie's seminars are really good as well. He's a very good talker. And he's a very good storyteller. So and every night I'd be like, "Hey Ronnie, I've not heard that one before. I've not heard that story before." And people's faces as well when he comes in. It's like it's like there. That's Medway. That was a good one.
Yeah.
That was good. We took Andrew Jack there the other week. If you look to the right, there's some steps. We had like a little seminar room upstairs, and there was only a few people there. But for Ronnie, I mean, they really turned out for Ronnie.
Wow, these gyms in the UK look pretty badass. I gotta say.
I know I've been to some really, really nice new gyms recently, and I'm definitely seeing different trends.
I like those murals up on the wall. That's a really nice touch.
That's all the different British pros. If you look careful, there's like Mark Hector, Luke Sando, James Hollinshead, Jamie the Giant. They are. Look, there's one of Ronnie's phrases.
They got his quote up there. That's awesome.
How cool is that? So we put the table for the signing in front of it. So we get the photos. You get the you get Ronnie signing stuff with the quote on the wall right behind him. So
good stuff.
Brilliant. I wish I could do it all over again. In fact, I'm glad I've got some other stuff to roll straight into, because otherwise I get the post-tour blues. I get really, really like really sad. I'm like, oh, I want to do it again.
No, it's like postpartum blues. I don't want to lower the accomplishments of women out there who've given birth, but it's a similar thing.
Yeah.
There's your baby, and now your baby's gone. Your baby's out in the world. So.
Yeah. Well, I got Christmas to look forward to, so that's the first time in about 5 years I think I'm looking forward to it. So, it's gonna be really, really nice. So, it's all good. It's good, and the weather was bloody snowing in Aberdeen. It was up in Scotland.
Really? Wow.
It was snowing. Yeah, it was snowing. So it was really. When we got off that plane, my God, it was like so cold out in that bloody airfield.
Wow.
It was like I think it was -2 or -4. And I just had like a normal suit jacket on and waistcoat. I wasn't really dressed for the occasion, And Ronnie doesn't really feel the cold. He doesn't feel it. No, he's just like there in his like hoodie and a t-shirt, and he's absolutely fine. He's like, nah, don't really feel the cold. The guy's a robot. I swear to God.
It looks like he wears shorts all the time.
He does wear shorts a lot. Yeah.
You gotta be a trooper to pull that. All right, cool. Well, that is it, guys. So Sunday, the Bigman Weekend in Alicante, Spain. It is the last chance in 2024 to qualify for the 2025 Mr. Olympia. We'll see who it's going to be. Is it going to be Akim, Horse MD, Mark Hector, Matthias Hollweck, Emir Omeragic, Andrea Presti? We got a great lineup for a show that, it's the last show of the year. Sometimes they don't get the best turnouts. This one really, really surprised us. So looking forward to seeing what happens.
Yeah, watch out for that Hollweck though, because if the judges like him again, I mean, he could sneak through all of them, because like that guy's got nice balance, nice condition, nice symmetry. He literally looks like a classic guy with a few extra pounds of muscle on, which is exactly what he's basically become now. So let's be interested to see what he does, because like a new face like that, he could get in there and disrupt all of them. But the thing is, it's good because apart from Akim, there's no real like heavy hitters in there that could come in and just, he's going to win this.
Right.
Right. And obviously Presti, you expect Presti to be like a sort of like a front runner to win it, but then he got 8th in Prague, and so who knows what's going on there, So will that kind of thing happen again, or is he going to be fighting out with Akim and Emir and Matthias, for the win? So it's good. It's these kinds of shows are a little bit more interesting sometimes because it's there's no outright. And Lewis Breed, I mean, there's a guy making top 5 in multiple pro shows in the last couple of years. He's proven himself immeasurably, several times now. So let's see what he does as well. So, and obviously I'm very, very excited to see Mark Hector back up there as well, because I like Mark and I like his physique and I really rate him, because I honestly thought he was going to be nipping at the heels of people like Samson and Nathan, as I said before. So I just want to. I hope. Let's see what he looks like. See if he's made any improvements, even with the shoulder injury.
Yeah, we'll find out. Anything can happen in bodybuilding, guys. You can't count on results ahead of time. Anything can happen. So let's see. All right. Well, that'll do it. Thank you, Giles Tiger Thomas. Go take a nap.
I'm going back to bed now. I'll go back to bed.
We will see you next time on Power Hour.